Hello everyone, my name is Asis Derlan. I would like to present my project Additional Language Development from Theory into Practice. And the topic is about the science and theory of language development. Let's start now. Okay, this is content of my presentation. The first one, explain who studies language development and why. The second one, describe some major approaches to studying language development. The third one, compare and contrast some major language development theories. And the last one, explain how language development theory influence practice. Okay, let's see the introduction from this topic. I just explain about the science and theory. Science is the process of generating and testing theory and can be considered the final core of appeal for the fiability of a scientific hypothesis or conjecture. And the theory is refers to descriptive statement or principles devised to explain a group of facts or phenomena. So in a sense, a theory is a claim or hypothesis that may be stated repeatedly with an array of scientific. When they accumulate evidence be constantly support a given theory throughout time, it becomes an active part of the knowledge base in a particular discipline, and we can use the theory to make a prediction about natural phenomena. For the first explanation about who study language development and why. So this statement have a two part, that is basic research and then applied research. Basic research. In language education development includes the way children learn the meaning of words, the order in which children acquire the grammatical structure of their native language, and the age by which children typical product speech sounds. One example of basic research is a study by Shiloh and Sebeck, which is investigate how children learn new words. The next, applied research. Applied research on language development are from the same discipline as science, who conduct basic language research. Applied researcher usually test language development practice relevant to three main contexts. There are homes, clinical settings, and then schools. The next, number 2 from the content, is what are some mature approaches to studying language development. There are three parts, that is approaches to studying approaches to study speech perception, approaches to study language production, and then approaches to study language comprehensive. Number 1. Approaches to studying speech perception. Speech perception studies help researchers learn about how children use their speech perception to draw information from multiple learning language. The study of speech perception has improved dramatically during the past few decades as a result of a range of technological advance, one of which is digitization. For example, the extent to which infants differentiate speech sound from non-speech sounds. Number 2. Approaches to studying language production. These studies may also require children to repeat sentences, so researchers can determine whether they have a grasp of certain grammatical structures. For example, an examiner may ask a child to repeat the sentence. Number 3. Approaches to studying language comprehension. Language comprehension studies specifically into what children understand about language, and with the assistance of some creative research paradigm, experts can measure children's language comprehension even before children speak their first word. Next, what are some mature language development theories? Any 5 parts of this statement. The first is question language theories should answer. The second, major language development theories. The next, nurture inspire theory. And the fourth, nature inspired theories. And the last, interaction theories. Number 1. Question language theories should answer. This theory about language development are both abundant and very is focused. We considered an adequate theory to provide some type of explanation for each question. That is, what do infants bring to the task of language learning? What mechanism drive language acquisition? And then, what types of input support the language learning system? First question is, some theories propose infants arrive in the world essential to acquire language. The second question, of what mechanism drive language acquisition, address the process by which language develop from infancy forward. The last question concerns the kinds of input that drive language development after birth as children grow and develop. Number 2. Major language development theories. We can generally group language development theories into those that are relatively nature inspired, those that are relative nature inspired, and those that acknowledge the interaction of multi contribution. Number 3. Nurture inspired theory. According to this theory, children arrive at the task of language learning without innate knowledge. Number 4. Nature-inspired theories. This theory is children are born with a basic set of grammatical rules and categories that exist in all language, and the input they receive set parameters to match those of their native language. Number 5. Interactionist theories. One the critical concept in this theory is zone of proximal development, which is the difference between a child's actual development level as determined by independent problem solving and his or her level of potential development as determined through problem solving in collaboration with a more competent adult or peer. The final explanation is about how do language development theories influence practice, and then has the fourth part, that is linkage of theory to practice, interaction in English as a second language or theory and practice. Practice language theory may inform, and the last evidence-based practice linking theory, science, and then practice. Number 1. Linkage of theory to practice. This point, we have discussed some of the people who study language development and why they do so. Number 2. Interaction in English as a second language or theory and practice. The connection between theory and practice is mediated by principles of interaction, including cognitive, affective, and then linguistic principles. Number 3. Practice language theory may inform. In this section, we considered 3 direct applications of language theory to practice, that is prevention, intervention, and remediation, and enrichment. Number 4. Evidence-based practice or linking theory, science, and then practice. Evidence-based practice involve integration theoretical knowledge with scientific inquiry to inform decision making. Conclusion. You can see my conclusion about this presentation. The distinguish among theory, science, and practice, and demonstrate how the 3 complement one another in the field of language development. A theory of language development is a claim or hypothesis that provides explanation for how and why children develop their capacity for language. Okay everyone, this is my presentation about the science and theory of language development. Thank you so much.